Hi guys. Okay, so in continuation of pretty much Matthew 2, right? It has a little touch of Matthew 1 because it's a summary, right? We know that in Matthew 1, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 1, it's about the genealogy or the bloodline of Jesus Christ and Mary being um, you know, with the Holy Spirit, and it's indicated there that was, like he knew her not, right? With in reference to Joseph, and to summarize this, that Jesus has to be born of the Holy Spirit because he has to be a sinless man. He Jesus Christ is known of no sin, but he has to manifest as human being. So Jesus Christ is God, declared himself as human in that form. Therefore, there's no man involved because we already have established in my previous video that um, I'm gonna use my glasses or whatever. Satan has injected, right, his lies and Eve, and it actually really bled hard on Adam. That's Adam's fall. Right, so Adam's fall, meaning to say that we no longer have the image of God. I keep saying this in any of my video, but I guess it will summarize this, and it will make sense for people who doesn't really get the whole concept of the fall of Adam. Therefore, Jesus Christ has to come down because really originally for Jesus for the Jews. That's why Matthew's declaring that Jesus Christ is King of Jews, right? So now going forward to, or actually the ending to finalize book two is Herod, right? Who you guys know about Herod, who wanted to kill all babies, and I have specified that God has protected Jesus Christ because I'm sure every step of the way as a kid he's protected Jesus Christ because he is a human being. He probably have whatever as a kid too, as a human being, but God has to protect him. He has big plans, and Mary, knowing that, right? But we wanted to specify here that in this book, right, or actually in the first one, is that Mary is not a perpetual virgin like all the Pope has been reflecting. It's so paganism, right? Francis is that right now, right? Like I said, the Pope. This is Peter, and again, Saint Paul has corrected Peter so much times because his teaching is so wrong. It's just been revealed to Saint Paul, what the true gospel is, right? But yet, Saint Peter papacy is spread all around, but it has the tail of Satan, which is paganism, which is again the mother and child, the whole, the perpetual Mary, which is it has that. It's in the Bible that Jesus has step sisters. It's more than six because it's specified there's sisters, could be two sisters or whatever, but so far there's four brothers mentioned, right? Plus sisters could be, I don't know how many sisters after the four brothers. It doesn't say anything after two sisters, but it could be, I don't know, two plus, I don't know, sisters could mean anything, but it stopped from there. But we all know that there's four, and there's James, Simon, Judas. Oh gosh, what's the other one? Okay, I'm not. We're gonna stop there because I can't remember. Okay, okay. So we all established that Mary is not a perpetual virgin. Mary was a virgin prior to the birth. So again, this is not Mary's fault or anything, right? And people are glamorizing her and putting her as a comedier. I remember my aunt back then when I was a child giving me, those. she wanted me to memorize. That was so nice of her because she was telling me, "Oh, you memorize Holy Mary, Mother of God." So it's been like a repetitive for me. You know how like the wishing well of the Tibetan is similar to that. Like you're like memorizing it. Like I'm an RP, like I said in the previous video. I don't know if I've completed it because my thoughts sometimes, right? Like knowing the anatomy, but not knowing how it works, not knowing the physiology, right? It's so wrong. So we need to know how this works, and not rightly dividing, not knowing where the book is intended. Like Hebrews is intended for the Hebrews, right? So Matthew is intended for Old Testament. For who? The Jews. These are all Jews' laws. 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 Okay. There's no gentle about it. And if anything, there's a little bit. And that doesn't um, um, ap- applies or be seen until the death of Jesus Christ, right? Like I said, and we're only at chapter two, and chapter two is about Herod being so jealous because this about this wise man also being mentioned. That wise man, it doesn't, how like in the Catholicism nativity, like I grew up with it too. I was like so. It's so twisted again. And the nativity of the Catholicism, Jesus Christ is in a manger, if I'm pronouncing this right, and where they the is a place where, because there was no places or hotel at that point, I just use hotel or place to rest, right? Because Herod is so jealous out of his fleshly nature, wanted to kill babies, because now some wise man, it doesn't mean three wise men again, it's three gifts, okay? Wise men could be, I don't know, 20 battalions, but there's wise men from east, which is Egypt, because they've gathered a lot of information from Pauline doctrines, the the right gospel, right? That there's, because a star is like an indication of a birth of Jesus Christ. Remember at that time that Bethlehem, they were correlating it to Catholicism, right? So they saw a star, these wise men, so they want to worship the king because the last one was Abraham's birth, right? The Abraham era. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that. And now there's a star again. The star is indication. So star is a sign back then. It doesn't apply anymore now because the book is here now. It's completed. But back then it's big, right? All stars and all signs and all that. And we all know that. So it's been said and done. So we've established that. Okay, it's three gifts. Gold for king, I can't pronounce it. Frankincense, whatever is for priest, right? And yeah, I believe myrrh is for prophets, and only David and Jesus has that quality. And Jesus is all Christ, right? And he's directly his lineage to bloodline. Anyways, it will show here on chapter 2, it's already 8:19, that Jesus' birth, and then Herod is trying out of jealousy because he's no longer the king, because he's considered king of Jews at that time. Now he wants to kill. And then if you don't know that John the Baptist is a direct bloodline of Jesus Christ, cousins are important too, right? So John the Baptist, right? And the Jews are like, oh, are you the Messiah? But he declared, no, I'm not. I'm here to pave a way, clean everything, to declare who's the Messiah. And Jesus being burned as a virgin birth out of Mary, right, with the Holy Spirit, and that's the reasoning. That's why he's sinless, but he still need to be get baptized by John the Baptist, right? Because to show the way. And I'm gonna be talking about marriage because marriage is really attached to this after this. I don't think I can do another video of Matthew 3, but I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to intertwine it with work now. I'm going to bring my laptop. But I'm going to do a marriage because with marriage, right? Because with Mary and Joseph, right? Because, obviously Joseph was like, wow. It, it, in the Bible shows that Joseph did not touch Mary until after the birth of Jesus Christ. So it was no malice of whatever lust going on there. during the conception, and the conception, he's not part of it because an angel declared, right, to Joseph, right? So there's the Holy Spirit protection there. There is no sex that happened. Oh my gosh, I hope I now I can't do this for kids. So there's no consummation. So I've said that happened between Mary and Joseph, right? It happened after the birth of what happened. So Mary therefore is not a perpetual birth. And then after that, heard know of this because of the wise men. They probably have spread the word. They wanted the concept, and Egyptians has known a lot of information, right? Because they're always like that. They're always like afterwards. Oh, they're about goddess to worship. They're about polygod. You have so many gods to worship, and in their mind, oh, there's another god to worship, right? I don't know, but these are just my theory. Okay, this is not biblical, but it is fact that it came from the east, and these are all the wise man came from. But how did they acquire the knowledge of how it's just based on the star? I'm not sure if there's anything, but nothing biblical. I want to declare that here right now, okay? And then in chapter 2 also, it's been also declared how Jesus was born. And with, again, you know, when when the Catholicism declared how nativity is, when the wise man finally reached the star by the guidance and all that mathematically. That's why KJV is the only Bible I believe. They all have that mathematically planned out to be able to locate Jesus Christ based on the stars alone, right? So, but they were able to locate Jesus Christ in the house, not in the manger. But the Nativity has presented it that way, and he was already like a toddler, so to speak, and he was presented three gifts, meaning that represented that he's a king of Jews, right? So and Herod along that line. So I'm gonna have to end. It's getting so long. I'm going to be doing Matthew 3 soon, but I need to do testimony first, okay? Because I've been forgetting about that. See you guys soon. Either testimony or free talk about marriage, and then Matthew 3, book 3. Okay, see you guys.